Well guys, here is a brand new Victoria-free After Action report. As for the first time, I played Lower Canada, as Canada is split between separate Canadian puppets to the UK and all that. And you're given special decisions once you unlock nationalism. I think you have to fix your relationship with the other Canadian sub-states and America too for some reason. You can slowly annex them over time to form Canada. And that's what I did pretty quickly too. I was surprised how quick it was I was able to do. I think I did all before 30 years in. It was insane. And I quickly got colonization stuff done. So I actually colonized a good chunk of Africa, but I really didn't pay attention to it. As you see, classic terrible border gore and all that. Oh my god, Portugal, that's sad. So yeah, after that I actually was able to find an equilibrium in my main economic areas of Quebec and Ontario, where I was able to alternate building one building stuff at a time, and then alternate right afterwards when they're all done. Kept a nice good balance before I started automating all that. I eventually went to war and annexed all of America right off the bat with the new mods I'm using. It allows me to annex countries pretty much completely. And complete bunch of bullshit with that war too. I was losing war score even though they weren't invading me, and I occupied the vast majority of them, so I had to cheat to fix that because it was completely horse shit. So yeah, I annexed them, but after a few weeks of controlling them, I realized there was severe economic strain controlling them and all that, so I broke them up. I released several states in America, which was split into two, and I had the center parts of out here and such, and I sat for a couple, a decade or so, just building everything up, having to keep regularly helping my new American puppets out because they kept having rebels all over the place between all the vassals and all that. And eventually, I took them all over and integrated them and managed to handle it much better now. I eventually went to war with the British to get independence from them and take back Newfoundland, which I was able to do. I was able to easily take it over, but despite my massive advantages, we could not invade the British Isles, yet for some reason I was able to win the war, which is really weird. Why would it let me do that to them, but it wouldn't let me do it to America? And then after that, with just a little bit of time left, because Mexico still had all this right up here, I went to war with Mexico and had no trouble invading them, even when Austria intervened. It was just a roll stomp and all that. So I annexed Mexico right before the end of the game. I actually wanted to release them because all I really wanted was just continental America, but when I went to release them, it was going to give them all the cores away, so that would mean they would get Texas, California, New Mexico, and all that back. I was like, nah, I'd rather have Mexico in that case and all that. So after that, for some reason, after I took over America, I don't know why, but I had Alaska under my control, even though it was Russian at the time still. And so when I took over America, I somehow got access to Alaska, and it gave me a decision to purchase Alaska from Russia. I was like, okay, I'll do that. But then when I went up there after looking at the pop-ups, wait, I already own Alaska. Why is it giving me the pop-up? So, effectively, I bought Alaska for myself. So I had the negative and positive effects at the same time. That was a weird bug. Only thing I didn't take back was Hawaii because I didn't have any time, and they were sphered by, not sphered, but yeah, puppeted by France. So, didn't feel like dealing with that right now. And yeah, so this was a wild game. Finally had GDP that was good. The second highest all time in Vicky free for me. My standard of living was all the way up to almost 17, but it collapsed immensely when I started taking over America and Mexico. And had one of the biggest populations too I ever had as well. So yeah, actually now I'm looking at it, is the most population I've ever had. And the biggest army ever, too. Actually, no, it's the smallest by just 3,000. Just 3,000 away from being the biggest and all that. Absolutely insane. As, of course, the petit bourgeois were in power. Second time recently I've had that, because before I'd never had it, but now I've had it twice. So, yeah, insane with all that. And, of course, ignore the GDPs and all that down here, because they're all busted except for me. Somehow the British still were #1 power in the world, even though I beat them and all that. But I was making a comeback, because this is my third highest scoring game right now. but still a long way away from being #1 and all that. Alright, so, yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed having pretty much all of North America controlled by Canada. And now, here is the final results.